All right, guys, here is part 2 of the Rick and Morty Just KNIME challenge. I'm going to be showing you two methods. One is the recursive loop, which is pretty much the assignment. That's what they asked you to use. And secondly is another method, which I'm going to do based off of a component I made. So I just did some studying up on the recursive loop because I haven't used it before, so I honestly did not know how to use it. So I just studied and I learned, and that's great. I'm going to show you the workflow I used actually. So you see how easy it is to learn these kinds of things in KNIME if you need, whenever you need to. Okay, here's the challenge. I need that URL again. So yeah, I just did it now. I just studied, I just did it. Hopefully I can remember. I have a quote. I'll just delete that in KNIME. Okay, so here's the URL. Now, recursion, because I know what recursion is, I just haven't done it in KNIME, is essentially when you use the when you use the output of your program, for instance, and you put it back into the program to get another output. So you just keep feeding the output as an input. That's recursion. Okay, essentially that's what it is. And we're gonna implement this here. So we have the get request, and from here I want to extract. Right, so this has all this information, and we need this next URL because we need to feed that through a recursive loop to get everything. And I'm going to say in the real world example, honestly, APIs don't happily, kindly provide you with the next URL you need for the next page. So in practice, the method I showed in the first part would be usually how you have to do something like this. You would have to build the URL yourself using the parts for the page number. They usually don't give it to you. Okay, but I'm going to show you this method anyways. So you take that, and I need to first I'm going to do a column filter because I just don't want these extra columns there. It's not a big deal, but just going to get rid of them. Okay, they are gone, and I am going to extract the URL that we need to for the recursive loop. So we need the next page, okay? And we can remove the source column because we don't need it anymore. And now this is what we need to feed in. We're going to start our loop now, but just before we do, I want to extract the information we have on this first page. So I'm going to do that very quickly. So we need the ID and the name. Okay, so I have that. So that's the first page information is there. Now here, we need to be able to loop through all the pages to get more data. So I'm going to start our recursion. Before I start properly, just connect this. I'm going to show you which workflow I use to help me figure this out. Now, usually whenever I'm faced with something and I don't know how to do it, I just search for it in KNIME. So I searched for RECU and it popped up recursive loop start. So I came here and then I scrolled to the bottom. You'd usually have some workflows which use the node. Now I know that a few of these people work in KNIME and I'm very familiar with Rosaria, so I opened her node her workflow right away. And for me, it made sense because this is the workflow. There was a nice explanation box that shows you how it's used. And for me, the biggest hint was that it can pass the results to the next iteration using the second port. So what it's looking like is you have a recursive loop start, and then you have some actions, something can be done. And then whatever value is here, you can pass it into the second port and it's fed back into your loop start node to help you do something again. Whereas this first port stores your data. Okay, that was the key for me. So the KNIME Hub is very good to help you figure things out. That's how I usually troubleshoot or figure how to do something new in KNIME. Okay, so our loop start, we don't have to configure anything. So we're just going to trigger it. Okay, now once this runs, I need to use it again. I need to do an action, right? So I need to use it in a get request node. And I am getting I'm using the URL in the column called next, and I run that. Now, two things I need to do. One, I need to extract the next page URL because I am going to use this again in the next iteration, right? Because we need to get the next page. And I also need to collect the data. Now, remember what we saw from Rosaria's workflow, recursive. What we saw from Rosaria's workflow is that the data should go in the first port, whatever data you need to correlate, And then whatever you need to send back should go in the second port. Now, something very important, because I had a few gotcha moments. Two important things. One, you need to tell the recursive loop when to end. And secondly, you need to make sure that your table schema matches exactly what you're passing, what you started with. So I started with a column called next. I need to make sure that when I'm passing the output to use as the input here, it's also a one row, one column item called next. So to ensure that happens, I'm going to use a column filter to get rid of everything that is not next. So actually here, before I extract the URL, I'm going to get rid of all the other columns. And the key reason is because if I don't get rid of them, my new URL is going to be called next #1, but it needs to match exactly, okay? So I get rid of everything except the body, which I need to extract. And then I come here and I'm going to extract it again. And it's called next. So if I run this, I can see, okay, so, and I also, very importantly, to get rid of the body, because again, it has to match exactly. So I can see that this is called next. It has one row, one column. It matches what we started with, one row, one column called next, okay? So that side is done. Now, on the data side, we need to extract our character ID and their name. Did not mean to do that, okay? And their name, okay? So the data is going to get handled. Meanwhile, we have our recursion. So hopefully that should be everything. Now oh, very important. We need to set out how to terminate this. Now remember, we already retrieved the first page in the first step, right? So we need to just set this to 41. So 42 minus 1. So that should handle that. Now we kick off our recursion. I'm going to see how long this takes. I will tell you how many seconds it takes, because I want to see which method is fastest. Well, okay, that's already done. And over here, I'm just gonna remove the source column very quickly so that it's identical. Okay, so okay, cool. So here I have my data. Okay, so now I'm going to remove, actually, let's just very quickly verify that we're getting different pages. Just expand this so you can see we have different pages. So we are solid, but see, it starts from page 2 because page 1 is down here. Now I'm going to make sure that these tables look identical by just getting rid of some columns in the other one. We are approaching 10 minutes, so I'm going to make a part 3 with the last method. Honestly, like I said, I don't see any advantages over the last method compared to the first one, but if you're curious, I'm just going to put that for you because I want to post this on LinkedIn, so I can't exceed 10 minutes, okay? So again, making sure this is identical with our first page 1. Run this. I'm going to stack them all together. Concatenate them and okay, so cool. Now we have our page 1. Just because I have like OCD, I'm just gonna flip the order because I want page 1 to be at the very, very top. Okay, much better. And then now I'm just gonna, oh, let me show you a fun new functionality for the new KNIME. It's gonna guess what I need. Oh, it didn't guess that. Okay, it didn't guess it, but sometimes it will tell you exactly which node. It actually does it based off of the previous node. So if I do it here, it would select the ungroup as the first one. Okay. So I ungroup this and we have our data. There you go. We have 826, which is what we were expecting. And now I've learned recursion. Now you have learned recursion. Hopefully everything is nicer and happier and brighter in the world. And if you want to see the third method, you can look out for part 3 and I'm going to do it there. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great one and goodbye.